Hi, this is Ardeen. In this video we're going to learn how to do a chain stitch. The chain stitch is the beginning of your project. Alright, so I want to make sure that you have enough slack in your loop. Don't make it real tight. So what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over. Now I do that all with my wrist. Some people actually go yarn over with their hand. I think a lot of people who hold it like a knife, they yarn over with their hand. But I do that with, because I do the pencil hold, I back into it, which is a yarn over, and then you point the hook down so that it's easy to go through the loop. That's chain one. Now, in order for it to not be so tight, you can pull up on the hook just a little bit so you have a little space in there. I'll show you from the side. So you should have some space in there, not like a whole bunch, but some. And the way I'm adjusting this is I'm pulling up and down between my index finger, my pointer finger, and the hook. Alright, so go ahead and yarn over, point your hook downward, not to the side, not to the top, but downward, and pull it through the loop. And notice as I came back up, I pulled up on my hook just a little bit to make it a little bit loose. Remember that your pincher fingers should be holding your work just below the exact spot that you're working. Yarn over, point the hook down, and pull it through. This is where you can pull up a little bit if your loop is too tight. But I'm going to bring it back down because I don't want it too loose. Now, if you're a little bit tense while you're making the chain, I want you to exaggerate how loose you think it should be, because it's way better to have a more loose chain than a more tight chain, because that foundation row is first row is the hardest one to do, and you're going to be doing it in your chain. So yarn over, point the hook down, draw it through, yarn over, point your hook down, and draw through. And remember, when you return your hook, it should be on the shank, not on the tip, because it's too small here. This area is bigger. And your working fingers, notice how I moved it up automatically? Your working fingers should move up with your work. Yarn over, point the hook down, and draw through. Returning the hook at the shank on the loop. Yarn over, point the hook down, and draw it through the loop, returning the hook, rather the yarn on the hook at the shank, and that's the circular part. It's not the flat end where you're holding, and it's not way up tight in here because this is smaller. Yarn over, point the hook down, and draw through. Yarn over, point the hook down, and draw through. Sorry about that. I'm actually crocheting through my camera, so that's kind of different. So this is what your chain should look like. And for those who are a little bit tense with their crocheting, I want you to really exaggerate how loose it is for you. So I want you to go ahead and just make a little bit more room and pull up just even bigger yet. So I want you to exaggerate it because you're really going to be glad that you did when you start your foundation row. And that's the chain stitch.